Hello, Janta. Came to what's up, guys? How was your Navratri Dashara? Happy Dashara, bhai, for everyone celebrating. I believe it was a good one for a lot of y'all because I know कहीं ना कहीं हमारे दूसरे चैनल पे Almighty Sports में देखा था हमने झंडे गाड़े लेकिन झंडे गाड़े the king is back तो भाई चैंपियंस लीग की बात करती तो I think let's be real we have to admit as much as भाई AC मिलान पहना हूं लेकिन we have to admit that it is Real Madrid who has to be the king no matter what if you're a fan or not और उसके लिए भाई हमने जोड़ना था ही रियल मैड्रिड फैन दी मैन जितेश भाई इन द हाउस जित भाई व्हाट्सअप हैप्पी दशहरा अगेन टू यू व्हाट्सअप क्या हाल है भाई मतलब लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू अनदर चैंपियंस लीग सीजन जहां पर दिख रहा है यू आर काइंड ऑफ वो बोलते हैं ना स्लो स्टार्टर्स बट मतलब यूसीएल is equal to Real Madrid. Is it a bit too much? Ki yaar, you will be a little bit humble इस पर.
Firstly, happy Dashara to you too, and thank you for calling me on. No, so I mean, UCL is equal to Real Madrid in a way that whether we win it or we don't win it, हमारी चाह हमेशा रहती है कि हम ही जीते. जैसे सलमान भाई की चाह रहती है कि हमेशा वो खतरे के साथ रहे. वो कभी-कभी भी कौशल के साथ भी शादी हो जाती है उनकी. But चाह वही है कि you want to get that. So that's always been a priority. It's definitely a bigger priority than the league and definitely than the cup and Super Cup and all the other smaller trophies. So yeah, for those reasons, not because we won it. We won it most times because we have that drive in us कि भाई जीतना है. But to say that कि it's equal to it is I would say नहीं.
One of the second I think कहीं ना कहीं जितेश भाई kind of keeping his cards to his chest लेकिन हाँ यहाँ पर हम डिस्कस करेंगे I think only this century the twist is in the tail is yes it might get into a debate mode लेकिन it's a fun debate guys so get in everyone हमें चाहिए आप लोग के वोट्स तो अगर आपको करना है भाई कहीं ना कहीं जनता जनार्दन हम वोट्स लेंगे सब लोग get in the house let me know in the chat who all other I can already see Harsha अंश जुड़ गए again great to see you guys लेकिन इस सेंचुरी का हम काउंट करेंगे वो भी कहीं ना कहीं लास्ट 20-25 इयर्स का हम काउंट करेंगे UCL 11 हम बनाएंगे लेकिन talk about chart to win UCL भाई come on as much as I will talk about Chelsea wait a minute of course वो भी हम वापस कम बैक करेंगे लेकिन chart to win UCL I don't think the much want जो बोलते हैं ना want कि भाई भगवान दे दे मुझे UCL दे दे cannot be more than Arsenal fan अपने भाई विवेक इतना विवेक जोक्स अपार्ट हैप्पी दशहरा टू यू कल मैं विवेक को बोला कि भाई संडे हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं जितेश भाई और मैं आप भी जुड़ो तो विवेक इज लाइक भाई सब ले लेंगे मेरे यार विवेक भाई दैट्स द रेस्पेक्ट आई हैव मैन फॉर यू बिकॉज़ आप यू आर हियर इन द यूसीएल डिस्कशन डिस्पाइट आर्सेनल हिस्ट्री बट जोक्स अपार्ट प्रीटी श्योर यूसीएल गिव्स यू दोस वाइब्स कहीं ना कहीं हम तो भाई फुटबॉल यूसीएल के लिए जीते
Yeah, first of all, happy Dussehra to all of you, यार. अंकित bro, जितेश भाई, chat में जो लोग भाई लोग हैं, अंश, Predator वगैरह वगैरह, सबको happy Dussehra भाई लोग. Hope everyone is having a gala time with their families and with their loved ones. हाँ, तो I was a bit skeptical यार, seriously, and I was like यार मैं क्या करूँगा इधर सब मेरे को मतलब
नहीं मैं क्यों लाऊंगा मैं बोलता मैं क्यों मैं रेफरी जैसे लाया भाई आई एम लाइक भाई जितेश भाई से लड़ाई नहीं हो जाए मेरी तो भाई रेफरी जैसे लाए
also keep us honest आप हमें honest रखोगे जब हम थोड़ा boisterous हो जाए जब हम थोड़ा egoistic हो जाए जब हम थोड़ा over the top हो जाए आप एक न्यूट्रल पर्सपेक्टिव हमें बता सकते हैं क्योंकि हर फैन को लगता है और ये सही भी बात है कि वो सही है भाई माय पर्सपेक्टिव इज द बेस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव वो वाला हिसाब है तो आई थिंक वी डेफिनेटली नीड समबडी हु ए लव्स द स्पोर्ट नोज द स्पोर्ट एंड देखो I always say this when people talk about Real Madrid कि I am lucky that the club I supported won it so many times उसमें मेरा कोई contribution नहीं है you know what I mean तो अगर आर्सेनल नहीं जीते तो उसमें कोई विवेक जी का कोई फॉल्ट नहीं है यार वो नहीं जीती तो वो नहीं जीती है you know that is the vibe
but very quickly just a quick clarification I mean हम लोग last decade का कर रहे हैं या फिर 2000 era का कर रहे हैं या फिर what is it
post 2000 क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं I think let's be fair to the chat also वो भी रिलेट करे थोड़ा बहुत हम ज्ञान देते तो अलग नॉस्टैल्जिया मोड में चल जाते हैं I know
तो मेरे पास अगर ऐसा है तो मेरे पास दो शाउट आउट रहेंगे I believe अगर 2000 era में है तो I think दो शाउट आउट मेरे टीम से रहेंगे they might not or be a part of the final 11 but shout out तो yeah fair I mean लेटेस्ट प्लॉडेट्स
मतलब
तो
ऑनेस्टली ना ये डिबेट तो भाई नाम का है, हमें बेसिकली बहुत पेंडिंग था. वी हैव टू जस्ट टॉक अबाउट बेसिकली द मोमेंट. चलो मोमेंट से शुरू करते हैं. व्हाइल एवरीवन जॉइंस इन अगेन गाइस, डू हिट द लाइक बटन एंड जैसे मैंने ऑलवेज बोला है, डू बैक पैनल एज वेल. दे आर टैग्ड. बट चलिए जितेश भाई आपसे पूछता हूँ, मतलब ऑब्वियसली चलो रियल मैड्रिड फोकस में यूसीएल फोकस आप देखें, इस सेंचुरी की बात करें, if you have to pick two moments of UCL, मतलब for me two obvious moments है, लेकिन two moments even as a football fan ना, कि यार these two moments define the best moments of UCL history of this century. So which will those two moments? मतलब maybe you can go one each. जितेश भाई आप बोलो एक और विवेक आप एक बोलो. Chat आप लोग two best.
I'll tell you for as a Real Madrid fan and as somebody who's watched the last 24 years as well. For me, this is a bittersweet sort of thing because yes, हम last 10 साल में 6 जीते हैं, पर हम लोगों ने 12 साल 2002 to 2014 कुछ नहीं जीता था और वो
Thank you for saying it. मेरा point नोट कर रखा हूँ मैं. I respect you for saying that. Absolutely.
No,
yes.
Absolutely. So for me, it was very bad phase where we were getting knocked out by Vivek G's team, by Lyon, by AS Roma, by all these teams that on paper was quote unquote weaker than us, but beat us, right? So for me, it's a very like this era of these 24 years that have gone by, or this quarter of a decade, a quarter of a century, has been very weird. Like it's been Jekyll and Hyde, black and white for me,
उस समय का जितेश भाई, जस्ट ऑन दैट पॉइंट, क्योंकि आप लोग ने आपने मेंशन किया है, आई डोंट नो इफ हाउ मेनी चेल्सी फैंस आर देयर इन द चैट, इवन मिलान फैंस, क्योंकि मुझे याद है जो आप एरा बोले हो ना, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं इट इज जस्ट द एंड ऑफ द गैलेक्टिकोस एरा से शुरू होते हुए. एंड आई जेन्युइनली, मैंने बहुत बार लाइव भी बोला, आई थॉट द गैलेक्टिकोस वर लाइक वाओ व्हाट अ टीम, बट आई थॉट मतलब talk about AC Milan, that AC Milan team probably kind of overdid the Galacticos, but at the same time AC Milan of that era or Chelsea of that era, मेरे ख्याल से we used to always pray कि भाई let's have, especially Chelsea fans used to be, we want Real Madrid the knockout, we want Real Madrid. इतने साल तक आए नहीं, if you all remember. Then probably we met multiple times more recently, even Liverpool did the same. But I think, I don't know, मतलब pretty sure as a Real Madrid fan, if to pick moments, I'm assuming that Bale or
no, Bale doesn't even make my top 5 list.
Wow.
The top 2 moments I would say that would make the moments of the UCL were those 2 goals, one by Sergio Ramos in the 93rd minute, and one by Zinedine Zidane in 2002, which was at volley, which till that time was the best goal of the UCL.
And
beautiful.
These 2 moments will, like they are so etched in my memory and in the memory of so many fans. 2014 was really like unbelievable. That 93rd minute goal, even though it was an equalizing goal, like it is, boss. I've seen tattoos of people with 92, 48, and people have made that moment, and it was a good goal. It was a great set piece, but what it meant for us in that moment, and what that Zidane goal meant for us against Leverkusen. So it's, for me, those 2 are my favorite. As a Madrid fan, again, huge Madrid bias, ये stream में होने वाला है. तो अगर आप बोल रहे हो, नहीं, मैं
इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ ना, मैं देखो, मैं चेल्सी मिलान बायस रखूंगा, जितेश भाई आप रियल मैड्रिड बायस रखना, विवेक भाई आप सबका बायस रखना, और चैट भी सबका बायस रखना भाई, जैसे आप
विवेक जी, आप हमको ऑनेस्ट रखो, यू टेल अस.
हाँ, क्योंकि दैट इज वेयर दिस इज वेयर यू कम ऑन गेट इन. मतलब एज ए न्यूट्रल आई हैव 2 थिंग्स इन माय माइंड, बट विवेक, आर यू थिंकिंग द सेम?
आप क्या सोच रहे हो? मेरा तो एक तो है,
one has got to be us, Milan on the losing side with 2005, मतलब the entire story of 2005, and the second one, मतलब if I have to keep my bias, then I will have to pick 2012 Drogba. After the 2008 wala episode, what happened, but that was a story like in nothing else. Literally in this room, bhai, मुझे याद है मेरी reactions crazy, going out of the window and shouting out like a mad guy, what happened. Lekin I think again, मतलब one cannot forget there were very, very important moments in between as well. I don't know, मतलब being a Kaka fan as well, I think Kaka, what he did to Manchester United, just that half an hour. Wow, I think that was probably one of the best I've ever seen, along with Ronaldinho, very surprisingly against Chelsea in a loss. Half an hour of individual playmaking in UCL जो बोलते हैं ना, I think that has to be right up there. But Vivek, मैं तो on and on चलते रहूँगा भाई. चैट आप लोग भी बोलिए best moments, और विवेक आपका best moment कौन सा था?
यार obviously वो तो लिवरपूल वाला comeback that obviously top 3 मेरे top 3 moments में तो वो रहेगा definitely. The other one that springs to my mind is the Jose Mourinho का वो sprint run at the Old Trafford touchline.
Barcelona, Inter Milan, Barcelona.
No.
Oh, the Porto, Manchester United.
Porto.
Yeah.
Okay, the Manchester United, the knee slide that he had. Actually, you are right.
Yeah.
Wow.
काफी iconic moment था, and at that time लोग उसको इतना seriously नहीं ले रहे थे, if you remember, है ना? And like कौन है ये? Who is this guy? This Portuguese guy with the Portuguese team? वो क्या कर लेगा? And SAF and the United were like, he will be moving past them, वगैरह वगैरह. And he came and he did what he did, and in the manner what he did. And then तभी तक वो special one वाला वो आप बन रहा था वो entire चीज. That entire episode was building up, ना? तो वो मेरे लिए काफी आइकॉनिक मोमेंट था. एंड ऑब्वियसली फ्रॉम चेल्सी का आप बोलोगे तो वो ड्रॉगबा का रहेगा, वो ट्रॉफी डैश वो वाला एक रहेगा.
बिल्कुल
आइकॉनिक मोमेंट.
मतलब am I allowed to get cocky, guys? पता नहीं, मतलब probably you guys will relate to it. 2021 की बात कर रहा हूँ ये, ठीक है, 2021 की बात कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि वो बात छड़ी गई है. तो 2021 की बात में आई थिंक ऑब्वियसली हम 11 बनाएंगे तो एक बंदा तो शायद रहेगा, विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट. लेकिन us as Chelsea fans loved it when a certain snake for Chelsea, obviously current one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Thibaut Courtois, was on his knees and along with the legend Sergio Ramos. देखो दोनों को मतलब लिटा दिए थे लिटरली, मतलब दैट मोमेंट. एंड आई थिंक दैट वाज वन मोमेंट ना, वो पता लगता ना भाई इस साल हमारा है. That was one moment which actually told us. Beating Real Madrid, whoever बोलते हैं ना, whoever beats Real Madrid in a knockout will probably go on to win the Champions League वाला मामला more or less हमें पता है.
Yeah.
So that was that moment for me. But again, हाँ, we can go
और
एक
मोमेंट है. I guess जीतू भाई और अंकित ब्रो आप भी अग्री करोगे. मैं लिख के रखा था किधर गया यार. हाँ, तो अरे वो कमबैक यार बार्सिलोना का against PSG. सेकंड लेग में
भाई ऑफ कोर्स
डैम यार. मैं यूके में था. हाँ, मैं यूके में था तभी, ठीक है, वीजा पे था. एंड आई वाज इन अ पब, मतलब ऑफिस खत्म करके पब में अपने कलीग्स के साथ लंदन एक पब में बैठे हैं, दारू पी रहे हैं, ठीक है, लिटरली दारू पी रहे हैं. एंड वी वर लाइक यार फर्स्ट लेग में तो 40 दिया, क्या कर लेंगे ये लोग और क्या करें. एमएसएन ये सब नया सब आ रहा था वगैरह वगैरह. एंड पीपल इन द पब लाइक नहीं देखते यार मेसी क्या करता है, देखते क्या करता है. एंड हम लोग एक पॉइंट खत्म कर रहे हैं 1 गोल, दूसरा पॉइंट खत्म कर रहे हैं 2 गोल, तीसरा पॉइंट कर रहे हैं 3 गोल. बाय द टाइम इट वाज 3 या 4 ना, पूरा पब भर्ती. एंड व्हाट सीन्स भाई, व्हाट सीन्स, पूरा मैड. द एंटायर स्ट्रीट में लोग पूरा पागल. एंड इट इज नॉट इवन, ये स्पेन भी नहीं है, वी आर इन ब्लडी लंदन.
कमबैक्स तो भाई रेमोंटाडास का तो अलग ही एक स्ट्रीम कर सकते हैं. एब्सोल्युटली दैट्स गुड, प्रीटी
बहुत सही मोमेंट था.
Great moments, great memories.
और I think Suarez played well, Neymar played well.
Yeah.
But I think वो गेम में जो बार्सिलोना के लिए सबसे अच्छा जिसने खेला वो तो रेफरी ही था. जो हिसाब से उसने हेल्प कराई है
भाई. रेफरी की याद में दिलाओ 2009 का, तो मैं तो अलग ही राइट पे चल जाऊंगा जितेश भाई.
नहीं, let's not go there.
हमारे
वो तो भाई मतलब
Same Barcelona, Van Persie red card and the diving of Dani Alves,
Van Persie red card.
But even 06 final, right? 2006 final, you all were so close. So
yeah,
very close,
yeah.
very close.
Offside goal.
But you have to give it. मैं poll डाला हूँ इसलिए भाई, guys, I have put a poll that after Real Madrid, which is the club with the biggest legacy in UCL football. It does not mean कि भाई number of times they have won. Of course, इस century की बात कर रहे हैं, but also number of times basically वो they were the closest. मतलब I thought, मतलब with all due respect to my own club भाई, यहाँ पर Chelsea की बात कर रहा हूँ, Chelsea and Manchester United मैं बोलूँगा. I thought the Chelsea and Manchester United of the mid 2000s should have won more Champions League. I genuinely believe it. Both these clubs missed a lot of chances. And again, credit to clubs like Liverpool, credit to my second club Milan. There कहीं ना कहीं उन्होंने ले लिया a couple of Champions League. But I thought, of course, Porto, that was what it is. But let's go into the 11. नहीं तो topic अलग ही हो जाएगा chat में. Again, guys, do not forget to hit that like button. I want each and everyone to join in. 15 मिनट हो गए stream में. Next 45 minutes, we will try and complete 11 or rather 22 the best who have played UCL this century. ठीक है, सब लोग का चैट में भी हम देखेंगे और ऑफ कोर्स पैनल ओपी हो जाए इन द चैट. भाई सब लोग गोलकीपर से शुरू करेंगे ऑब्वियसली. यहाँ पर रूल है, कहानी में ट्विस्ट आ रही है. जितेश भाई विल बी लाइक कम ऑन, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. तो हम जनरली क्या करते हैं ना, जब भी हम बेस्ट 11 बनाते हैं, विवेक नोज इट, बेस्ट 11 जब बनाते हैं कंबाइंड, हमारा रूल रहता है मैक्सिमम 2-3 प्लेयर होने चाहिए एक टीम से, लेकिन इट इज टू अनफेयर ऑन रियल मैड्रिड, तो 2-3 तो नहीं रखेंगे, 4 करें, 4 फ्रॉम रियल मैड्रिड, ठीक है, we'll make it 4 from the starting 11 ना, 22 में से no restrictions, from the starting 11 we'll make it 4, maximum 5 करना कोशिश करेंगे, लेकिन 4 में we'll try.
नहीं, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I don't want it to be
का कर रहे हैं anyway.
Yeah, like since we are doing a nostalgia deep dive, I mean, of course, Real Madrid are going to be a big part of it because I am a Madrid fan. But let's not.
मैं तो बोलूँगा 3 पे कैप लगाते हैं.
3 कर लो. I know.
वहाँ पर थोड़ा सा अलग.
हाँ, नहीं, 4th वाला will bring in, मतलब obviously यार, come on, मतलब playing 11 में at least seriously देखा जाए तो 5-6 तो easily नाम आ जाते हैं. तो but to make it interesting, थोड़ा
to make it interesting,
yeah. So
agreed.
3+1
शुरू करते हैं.
3+1 करते हैं, ठीक है. Okay.
Everyone, we'll quickly go on the names, ठीक है. You can give shout outs whatsoever on the chat or on the panel. Best goalkeeper in UCL.
अंकित ब्रो, लास्ट वाला स्ट्रीम में हम लोग चैट का नहीं ले पाए ओपिनियंस, इस बार लेते हैं.
हाँ, we'll try and take as much as possible. Chat open 100%. तो भाई आपको दिख रहा है बेस्ट गोलकीपर इस सेंचुरी में कौन है? ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पर मतलब ऑब्वियस शाउट आउट आई थिंक इज गॉट टू बी, आई एम अज्यूमिंग जितेश भाई, कसियास. आप बोलोगे?
So, but I'm okay with not Casillas not being there. So can I just?
Yeah,
okay,
that's the
like,
key.
Casillas, Buffon, but Buffon has not won, right? That's a very and yes, Neuer is somebody I would say that these three in this, and just for the longevity, not for any other reasons, just the longevity that they had. Casillas was in 2002 and he was also in 2014. So 12 साल रुकने के बाद भी वो फिर वही बंदा था जिसने आपको वापस से चैंपियंस लीग जिताया. He's won 3 Champions League. He's statistically he should be there, but I'm okay. He's not non-negotiable.
Because of the 3-4 rule, you are okay to let go Casillas.
I'm okay with
I think it's fair. Yeah. And shout out to Canizares, Valencia का keeper तब था, and he was.
मतलब again, people like Canizares and Buffon. मतलब I know Buffon was still मेरा तो one of my favorites. लेकिन you're right, Vivek, क्योंकि I think a lot of time, like for example, Oblak also, मतलब he was splendid for a couple of seasons. मतलब you cannot say कि they didn't deserve to be among the best of the best. लेकिन वो, you know, if they've at least been in the final, that kind of gives you extra brownie points, I would say. Because
I think shout out to Courtois, Nawab सही बोल रहे हैं, हर्ष भी बोल रहे हैं, Buffon and Peter Cech, obviously shout out Putin भाई, correct यार, Navas यार, बढ़िया names यार, big names यार. Yeah.
In fact, Navas is like back. I'm sorry, we completely left him out of this whole conversation, but he won 3 back-to-back. You know what I mean? Like that's something.
He's actually the man. Actually,
yeah, probably. He's actually the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
मतलब लेकिन I think probably answer यहाँ क्योंकि हम 3-4 वाला rule कर रहे हैं, maybe it'll come down to because वो ये 2008-2012 Van der Sar, Cech. I thought especially Cech being both the finalists. Maybe I'm biased, I don't know, or maybe people, bhai, what about the legend Jerzy Dudek? Jokes apart, I think Dida probably gets a bigger shout out than him. Lekin
Dida, like, listen, okay, Dida is one of those names, right? You throw it in conversations today, but if you saw him play, Baba,
mistakes, बहुत mistakes.
So
I agree.
Average goalkeeper.
Dida and Barthez के पास हमेशा बहुत स्प्लेंडेड सेव्स भी थे, बहुत मिस्टेक्स भी थे. आई एग्री विद दैट.
लाइक इफ यू वॉच दैट कंपाइलेशन ऑन YouTube, लाइक अरे यार क्या प्लेयर था, एंड देन यू प्लेड ऑन FIFA एंड ही इज लाइक अ लेजेंड वाला कार्ड मिल गया, अरे क्या प्लेयर है, बट ही वाज नॉट दैट. लाइक his highs was very short, like very short lived high, and sometimes the same match you would have a great save, and the same match in the second half you would like let in a very easy goal. So Dida, to please no, let's not insult the goalkeeper.
So I think it's a difficult choice. I didn't know. मुझे नहीं लग रहा था गोलकीपर में इतना डिस्कशन होगा. देखो, पर्सनल फेवरेट मेरा अगर मैं बोलूं, मेरा तो बुफोन होगा, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं because he's not even won a single one, whereas others have won at least a couple of them. I think probably Manuel Neuer, Madridista रोहित जो बोल रहे हैं, because he was a pioneer in Champions League level. I think probably is the answer, as much as मैं चेक को डालना चाहूँगा.
Let's go with Manuel Neuer, please.
Neuer?
Yeah. I think
backup, can I put Cech, guys, or is it backup Casillas डाल देते हैं? चलो backup तो होना चाहिए Casillas at least.
बेचारा
Casillas नहीं है क्या इसमें? अरे यार, इस look and feel में नहीं है. You know what? I'll make a different kind of a sheet. लेकिन चलो backup Casillas जा रहे हैं. While I'm trying to make that, Guys, let's talk about fullbacks. Wow, मतलब are we going 4-3-3 first of all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
What do
we
you think,
should. We
Vivek?
should. Yeah, we should. We should. Yeah, 4-3-3 will be ideal.
Is Dida really unofficial father of Mbappe? But then, bro. तो भाई fullbacks, best fullbacks. अगर आप right back से शुरू करते हैं maybe right back in UCL history जो basically was the most effective. Again, Cafu, Dani Alves obviously are the first names which pop up in my mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same, Shravan.
So,
लेकिन अगर
I
आप
mean, just
I
to
have a
just
take,
interrupt you, Danny
Yeah.
Carvajal is also has won six Champions Leagues, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he's right up there. There's no, but
Yeah,
you
yes.
can't have him because. So I'll tell you my three people who I want in this team. So then because there is going to come difficult. Modric, I would not like I would want Modric.
He has to be there.
Cristiano for obvious reasons,
Mhm.
and the third one maybe it's a little controversial and debatable. I would put Toni Kroos, but if you don't want Toni Kroos, we can put Sergio Ramos. So
Correct.
between Kroos and Ramos, you guys decide who is a better player. And ये तीन तो डाल दो मेरे यहाँ से बस बाकी फिर हम लोग दूसरे डाल देंगे.
I have a take. Guys,
Bold.
don't slate me in the
Fair
comments, but मेरा take ये है कि
हाँ.
देखिए Sergio Ramos has to be in this side. He has
So
to
then,
be in
there you
this
go.
side.
ठीक है.
Hands down. I mean, captain material, defense, leader on the pitch, off the pitch, जो भी मतलब contributions, last minute winners, वगैरह, tackles, cards, and मतलब team management जो भी हो गया. And I would put him actually at right back and not at centre back.
अच्छा.
Wow.
हाँ, मैं बता रहा हूँ.
तब तो I have a different name. Sorry to cut you, लेकिन मैं because you said ना. But वो ये ना Champions League में I thought Puyol played more right back than Sergio Ramos. If you think about it.
We can chop and swap. So मेरे तीन नाम थे. I'll not take the left back वाला name अभी. ठीक है. तो मेरे center back pairings were actually Puyol and PK, and right back में मैं रखता Sergio Ramos purely because early 2000s में ना वो जब team of the tournaments पे जब declare करता था UEFA, ठीक है, उसमें he was always मतलब when Arsenal beat Real Madrid वो वाला मैच में तो Sergio Ramos was starting as a right back only वो वाला game.
Yeah.
वो वो स्टार्ट ही किया था एज अ राइट बैक, राइट सेविया से जब वो आया था.
मेरा यहाँ पर पता नहीं, मैं आई वुड लाइक टू चेक आउट माय नेक फॉर अगेन सर्जियो रामोस मे बी इन द टीम,
बट कार्वाल एंड लाम यार, ये दोनों नेम्स हाउ कैन यू इवन.
देखो वी आर लुकिंग एट द बेटर प्लेयर वर्सेस द इंपैक्ट, द लीडरशिप, द इंपॉर्टेंस प्लस द कंसिस्टेंसी बोल दो ओवर द सेंचुरी राइट इन चैंपियंस लीग. तो मेरे ख्याल से क्योंकि सर्जियो रामोस प्लेड इन फ्यू गेम्स इन राइट बैक वर्सेस मे बी आई थिंक आई वुड डेफिनेटली पिक सर्जियो रामोस लेकिन इन चैंपियंस लीग 11 लेकिन एज सेंटर बैक मेरे लिए क्योंकि चलो मैं बोल ही तो भाई लेफ्ट बैक आई कैन नॉट 11 आप ढूंढो तो I cannot have a Ramos and a Maldini at left back and right back. I thought it's a little too narrow. I'd rather have a Puyol who was a little bit more overlapping, I thought at the time, and ज़्यादा खेला right back.
You wouldn't play Maldini center back. I would put Maldini center back with Sergio Ramos center back.
You would?
What is
interesting? Yeah. चलो तो you know what? Let's actually change the order and let's do that in that case.
There you go.
क्योंकि if you're saying that, then I probably agree with the panel. अगर लेकिन अगेन मतलब we might have missed some players, so we might try and put them as backup. अभी भी guys we can change it guys. आप चैट में बोलते रहिएगा भाई. ये एक सेकंड ये वाला चेंज करते हैं. मैं I am getting a different graphic so that we can just make it customized. ठीक है guys. Again everyone in the chat involve करेगा for sure. यहाँ पर we are going 4-3-3 to begin with. Let's see how it goes and then we'll probably look at it. ठीक है. तो अभी तक we are done with Neuer being the goalkeeper, ठीक है, and Casillas being the backup, and then we have Sergio Ramos and Maldini as probably your centre half partnership as of now.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, that's
correct. Fair point. Again, मैं यहाँ votes पूछ रहा हूँ.
Neuer की spelling थोड़ा सही कर दो.
किसका? अच्छा नॉयर का स्पेलिंग. ये राइट बैक का अगर आप पोल लो चैट आप कमेंट करिए बेस्ड ऑन नंबर ऑफ कमेंट्स मे बी आई विल सी बेस्ड ऑन इट्स बिटवीन Puyol.
If you guys don't want to go with PK then right back पे hands down आप
भाई PK के over to be honest Maldini Ramos any day of the week bro.
I think that But then
लेकिन नहीं,
Carvalho
let me give you
डाल
options for
सकते
the chat. Options for the chat on the right back are, I think Puyol definitely, because he's played enough right back in Champions League. Then for me, Cafu 100% has to be there. Although इतने ज़्यादा
Lam,
seasons नहीं
Phil
था.
Lam.
Philip Lam definitely has to be there. I think these are Carvajal. So you have Carvajal. You have
Carvajal. If you put Carvajal, then you can't
can't exactly.
Then you can't put Modric and
Correct. You know what? Carvajal is not there. So we are putting
okay.
Lam as one option. Then Puyol as another option. Then you have Cafu as another option.
Just to give you some stats, ना तो Philip Lam ने 5 times appear करा था in the UEFA Team of the Year tournament UCL का, ठीक है? And Cafu ने I think 1 या 2 appearances करा था. तो I think
इन चारों में basically right. Again मैं यहाँ SPO सबको इवानोविच सबको घुसेट ही नहीं रहा हूँ, ठीक है? I'm just talking about these people to be fair, right? I think probably again Dani Alves का वही after what how he's ended na career left with a bad taste in the mouth, very honestly सच में बोलूँगा, लेकिन it is what it is.
Great player, man. Dani Alves.
Great player, exactly.
Great player.
मतलब again personal choice तो ये है. चलो left back. Okay, can we do one thing? I have
shout
one. This is a great shout.
Ashley Cole
Zanetti.
Yeah.
What about Zambrotta, bhai? He played on either flank. He was like Lam almost. In the Champions League, he had some great games.
Yeah.
Both Marcelo Carvalho unfortunately cannot come. Our rule is maximum 3 या 4 Real Madrid के होंगे.
Yeah.
That's the reason. लेकिन ये 4 में
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Left back.
Real Madrid के 3 डाल ही दो ना, so we don't have to decide.
हाँ, so that people know exactly.
हाँ, so put Modric and put Ronaldo and say ये Real Madrid के 3 है, Ramos, Modric and Cristiano. I mean क्या मतलब क्या 3 भी क्या 3 चुने यार आप लोग ने?
मतलब क्रिस्टियानो को यहाँ डाल देते हैं for a time being, ठीक है?
नहीं लेफ्ट पे डाल because ऊपर का
क्या?
हाँ लेफ्ट पे डाल.
Okay, let's see.
और right पे डाल and Messi को left पे डाल, whatever, because Messi तो आएगा.
I know what नहीं है, एक बार यही डालते. We'll come to the discussion and we'll put Modric for the time being just to show people. लेकिन
just to show people.
left back
कोई बात नहीं करेगा. Real Madrid के 3 लोग आ गए, Real Madrid खत्म. Only non-Real Madrid options right now.
काफू नहीं करिए यार, काफू मत करो यार. Not Cafu, yeah, please.
Yes, Cafu. देखो, as much as I think on just quality alone, मैं Cafu को डालूंगा. लेकिन I agree with Vivek क्योंकि Cafu had a couple of fantastic seasons in the Champions League this century, like fantastic वाले. वैसे अगर आप compare करो, I thought Puyol probably had more seasons in my personal opinion. Even playing as right back, couple of seasons उसने खेला है, plus he was there. Maldini, I would prefer as a centre back any day of the week if you're giving me a choice. Not that he was bad at left back, but I agree with
left back. Why aren't you giving a shout out to Ashley Cole? एक सीजन हमारे लिए अच्छा था.
Correct. और यहाँ पे विवेक भाई, I don't know if you know, the other day we did a Premier League stream, Jitesh भाई. भाई मैं विवेक भाई was in the panel और मैंने बोला that Ashley Cole, people might disagree, but the Invincibles वाला जो season था ना, following that जो season था Ashley Cole वाला, one can argue that was attacking wise even better than what he did for Chelsea because technically it not been a Premier League with Chelsea if you people realize that, right?
Ashley Cole का problem ये है ना कि they both the sides of the fans are not very big fan of him. Like Arsenal, Chelsea, technically he was a good player for both.
So, I'm a big fan of him.
But you're the exception, not the rule. The rule is like, he was like, okay, he was great, but they like because of this whole the fact that कि उधर भी गया इधर भी खेला, because of that his sort of PR, I would say, I'm not talking about the player. The player is phenomenal, great player, wonderful, and of course deserves to be here. But because of the fact that he played for Arsenal and Chelsea, it became like a little, bitter in both the mouths. कि यार तू मेरा बंदा भी नहीं, तू मेरा बंदा भी नहीं है. Like hypothetically, if it was other two big teams, suppose he had played for Chelsea and say he had played for Barcelona or Real Madrid or Milan or Bayern Munich and done the same thing, then he would be like, oh wow, wonderful, look at him, great, all that. But because there's that rivalry, right? It's like a similar thing like the Figo thing, where both sides of fans know he's good, but they don't really own him. Like even with Madrid fans,
the same thing which happened with for us Gallas, for Arsenal, Sol Campbell to an extent to Spurs आया था. लेकिन भाई left back to be honest ना मतलब considering हम Maldini को center back डाल दिए है. And I know Marcelo technically yes, but backup Marcelo he है more or less. We know that Marcelo will probably be the backup left back in this team. But I would like to क्योंकि ये discussion हो रहा है, मैं तो बोलना चाहूंगा कि विवेक has just realized, made me realize that Ashley Cole had those seasons and probably deserved more in the Champions League. और मतलब अगर आप Champions League level पर देखो in terms of the impact, was it Phil Lahm more at left back? I think अगर आप पिक कर रहे हो, मेरा पिक होगा full backs में, मैं मेरा बता देता हूं दोनों full backs मेरा starting 11 में. I would like to pick Puyol definitely, and left back, and again nothing against Dani Alves, but you know that what I mean, right? Left back, unfortunately Zanetti is a close shout, but I would like to put Ashley Cole there. I don't know. I don't know, Jitesh bhai, if you have to pick two, left back, right back, aap
So
usko
I'll tell you, Zanetti ke liye I have very big bias, only because his birthday and my birthday is on the same date. Secondly, secondly, the fact is ki he, like, if you look at him, Zanetti, my God, like, no homo, but kya dikhta hai yaar, hero dikhta hai, you know what I mean? Like, even in his old age, he's such a
that is Italians, guys.
Yeah.
Argentines and Italians.
Yeah.
But anyway,
just so that is Zanetti, big bias. So I'm happy.
Luke Shaw कहाँ से आ गया भाई chat में?
Harry Maguire.
अच्छा, आप लोग कोई नेस्टा का नाम नहीं, मतलब कोई नहीं बोल रहा, मतलब everyone is talking about Maldini.
मैं ये ना माल्डिनी नेस्टा दोनों को नहीं डाल सकते ना विवेक, नहीं तो मैं तो भाई to be honest.
But the thing is कि he actually outshone Maldini यार, नेस्टा ने.
In this century, one can argue yes. In this century, yes.
But then Maldini has Maldini, no? You know what I mean? Like Maldini is Maldini. Like
नहीं, मैं जितेश भाई के साथ हूँ, क्यों बोलूं? मेरा ये है कि मिलान के भी 3 प्लेयर आएंगे मेरे ख्याल से, and I think at the defense region I would, as much as defense was goated, मैं माल्डिनी को डालना चाहूंगा, because एक तो बंदा I think everyone knows one of my top 3 goat players of all time, मैं तो उसको मतलब I will fight for him, let's see if he gets in, Kaka that is, but Kaka / Shevchenko मैं दोनों के लिए fight करूंगा थोड़ा बहुत, लेकिन I think Seedeorf, again, he has played for literally every club, but I think he has to be in this team, very honestly speaking, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I hear you, Nesta is one of the legends.
Yeah, क्योंकि when you अच्छा हर साल UEFA ने publish करता है, right? मेरा टीम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट क्या है इस टीम का, तो अगर आप 2000 से अभी तक का देखोगे ना, तो माल्डिनी का आई थिंक 1 या 2 बार खाली आया है, नेस्टा हैज गॉट फीचर्ड.
नहीं, लेकिन विवेक वही है ना, आई टेस्ट, मतलब लकी इनफ टू वॉच, यू हैव वॉच्ड इट मेरे भाई. आई थिंक विदाउट माल्डिनी नेस्टा वुडंट हैव डन व्हाट ही डिड, इन माय ओपिनियन.
एंड शाउट आउट टू किमिच आल्सो यार. उसका नाम क्या है?
लेकिन अगेन लेट्स कम टू एन आंसर, लेट्स मूव ऑन. तो विवेक भाई आपको पिक करना है लेफ्ट बैक, राइट बैक स्टार्टर्स. चैट आप लोग बोलिए, लेफ्ट बैक, राइट बैक स्टार्टर बोलिए.
लाम, फिलिप लाम हैज टू बी इन दिस साइड. तो आप
फिलिप लाम हैज टू बी अकॉर्डिंग टू यू. अच्छा, और एक और
पुयोल.
पुयोल, चलो तो पुयोल तो आई थिंक इज अ कॉमन एलिमेंट. जितेश भाई, कैन वी पुट पुयोल at least?
Puyol. But then do you want to swap? Do you want to put Puyol?
We can. Puyol
and
either
Ramos,
ways.
and then Maldini left back and Philipp Lahm right back. Can we do
I
that?
I think Puyol was a better right back than Ramos, I felt.
Okay.
And Ramos was a better center back than Puyol. इसलिए मैंने ऐसे डाला है बस.
Fair. I think that is a fair take.
And left back, should we put Lahm or Cole, guys? This is the chat. Jitesh bhai, Lahm ki Cole? Vivek, I'm surprised you didn't go with Cole, by the way.
Okay.
You say.
Philipp Lahm has to be there. He has to be in this.
Can I put a veto?
Put a veto. So again, bias, because every time I played career mode in those years on FIFA, right. My first signing was Phil Lahm. Because
I'll be fair, I loved the guy, but because we are talking about Champions Leagues, I thought with the impact and a leader that Lahm was, probably takes over, just like Puyol kind of takes over Dani Alves.
Just from the leadership wala angle, आप अगर captain वाला अगर card होगे, तो I think Lahm beats.
Bhai DM.
Yeah.
Jitesh bhai has a point. Please continue, Jitesh bhai.
No. I forgot the point. But also with the reason people are saying Cafu क्यों नहीं है इसमें? Cafu का बहुत बड़ा eye test World Cup में भी है. It's an iconic 2002 World Cup where he's standing on that table and he's lifting the World Cup, right? So in my mind and in a lot of fans' memories, he was a legend, right? He was a legend. But if you're talking only Champions League in Europe, I think these two fullbacks are better than what Cafu did. Nothing.
With all due respect, Jitesh bhai, I think just on their day, if I'm picking up player now, मैं तो any day of the week will take Cafu because I thought he was one of those in this century at least one of those first marauding right backs. मतलब आपको पता था Cafu जो अभी बोलते हैं ना modern day full back, Cafu was that in a different. He was far ahead of his time.
वो Maicon की
Exactly. Correct. Maicon probably took over from Cafu then later on. लेकिन I thought, लेकिन I agree with you. अगर Philippe Lahm anyway is not kind of that holding Aspie kind of left back. He's someone who marauds as well. आप inward लेता है तो I think a good balance होगा with Puyol
I love Philippe
right hand
Lahm.
side.
He's a great guy.
तो भाई Sergio Busquets, anyone disagrees in the DM position, holding midfielder position? Maybe one can argue that why not have Kroos sitting? Just saying. Or maybe.
So my two.
अच्छा आपके 3 नाम क्या है जीतू भाई?
Jitesh भाई आप you go first.
No, so my original 3 were Modric, Kroos and Cristiano, but now we have to midfield
में हाँ
midfield में I would put Kroos and Modric, and then I would put either Makelele or I will put Busquets. I like Busquets. I have no problem with Sergio Busquets being there. So I think that would be my 3. But since there is no like I can't put Kroos, right? Even though I want to, then I would put maybe a Kaka, or I would put who else is there? Lampard maybe. I would like all these great Paul Scholes. I love a Paul Scholes. Why not? I would put a Roy Keane, but I think that will become too technical. So Paul Scholes. So I will midfield में तो बहुत options है bro.
बहुत options तो बहुत है.
Defensive midfielder में पहले बात करते हैं. Defensive midfielder में who would you put? Busquets.
मतलब should we put a defensive midfielder now that we have either of a Modric or a Kroos? That's one more point.
I think
actually थोड़ी खेलने वाली है.
मेरा टेक है कि CM ही लेते हैं बस, ना कि मतलब who can do the entire central midfield वाला role and not just a proper out and out holding midfield.
अच्छा यहाँ पर ना भाई साहब सब लोग in the chat, मुझे मालूम है ज्यादा La Liga fans in the chat, भाई सब लोग like button दबाइए, let's get in some Premier League fans because मैं यहाँ पर I'm very surprised not to get the shouts of Lampards and the Gerrards and then the Makelele's and of course basically the Essens. मतलब come on, Pirlo,
Pirlo नहीं, but हाँ like
Essien नहीं, come on यार, Essien नहीं यार, क्या यार, अंकित लोग कुछ भी अभी बोलेंगे.
To be honest, okay, let me put it this way. How many of you all disagree that basically in 2005 the crazy Liverpool वाला victory season, मतलब in that season we're talking about, as well as the following season, सब लोग याद होगा crazy 4-all game Chelsea Liverpool का जो rivalry हुआ करती थी, in that era मतलब Chelsea probably were good enough, मतलब good enough क्या मतलब I know जीता नहीं है, लेकिन I think we were along with Manchester United, I just said it earlier as well, I think we were among the top teams in the world in terms of merit, just in terms of how good. मेरे ख्याल से Chelsea, Milan और Manchester United ये तीन I think between 2004 and 2009, with all due respect to all the teams, and of course Barcelona was also in the conversation, ये 3-4 teams were the best, and I think वहाँ पर if you remember the kind of goals that he scored, of course, मतलब मुझे याद है एक बहुत ही narrow angle का goal किया था against Valencia in a knockout game which was a winner. Same, I know Barcelona का heartbreak वाला पहला goal आया था Essien का fantastic goal, and I think he could hold. Plus आप देखो longevity में, yes, he was not a starter in the latter years, but I think he was part of the squad when he actually won the Champions League, as well as he was part of the squad for Real Madrid as well. आपको याद है तो मतलब I'm just saying, इसलिए मैंने नाम लिया तो but anyway,
no, agreed, but then again, see, you're comparing SC and all this midfield. See, there are 2 GOAT midfields in my opinion: Casemiro, Kroos, Modric, and Iniesta, Xavi, Puyol. Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. Right? That is the 2 GOAT midfield. I think that is these 2 midfields have won multiple Champions League together, playing in a
correct. नहीं मैं डालने के लिए बोल भी नहीं रहा था भाई, मैं तो बस I was just getting
I'm just saying, right? So when you compare a midfield, like even Kaka, क्या बोलना?
हाँ तो मैं नहीं after you please.
हाँ no, you were waving, so I was like मेरे कुछ गलत बोला गया. हाँ
भाई chat थोड़ा सा chill मारी है, ये अच्छे good discussion, is a fun discussion, so let's keep it fun. Rules मैंने पहले बोल दिया, rules will be that only, it's not the final, रुकेगा till the end of the stream and we'll make sure if we may break the rules, you are here to correct us, so don't you worry about it, तो tension नहीं लेने का. That's why we have everyone. Yes,
Ankit bro, मैं क्या बोल रहा था, देखिए लैम्पार्ड, स्टीवी जी एंड फ्रैंक लैम्पार्ड, ये दोनों का डिबेट्स तो चलता रहेगा, नेवर एंडिंग डिबेट, ये कभी खत्म नहीं होएगा, ठीक है. बट क्या ये स्टेटमेंट बोलना गलत होगा कि a UCL Stevie G is greater than a UCL Frank Lampard? And hear me out. A Premier League Lampard is greater than Premier League Stevie G.
I
don't disagree at all. But you know, point being that we are also taking context, like for example, the 2008 final goal that he scored, Lampard, the equalizer, which was so important. 2012, he actually captained in the final. These are things which also cannot be forgotten. So he deserves a shout out. See, I'm not coming to conclusions. ये shout outs है for chat to tell कि आप लोग बोलो. I'm not saying it is.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out names. Lampard, Gerrard, the Paul Scholes of the world, the
Iniesta,
the Roy Keats of the world. I'm just throwing names. आप लोग बोलो.
Andres Iniesta.
ठीक है.
मेरा अगर एक नाम बोलेंगे कि विवेक एक नाम ऐसा बता कि जो has to be there, non negotiable है. Because already Modric का नाम तो जीतू भाई ने ले रखा है, तो मेरा the other name would be, first name would be Andres Iniesta. He has to be in this side.
Yep.
I was watching in some stream and somebody mentioned this and I could not agree with the statement more enough. I think the statement goes like this: a prime Iniesta, he practically and literally would walk into any team, any side.
Okay.
चाहे वो 99 का United वाला side.
But once again, sorry to cut you off. You can't put Iniesta, Busquets, and Puyol, and then have
Messi नाम डाल रहा by the way.
No,
I wanted to see your reaction.
Messi again because that'll be 4. So
there'll be 4.
Messi को डाल देते भाई, तो लड़ाई हो जाएगी.
Messi को तो डालो पहले.
अरे भाई मेसी को डाल दिया भाई, मेसी को डाल दिया. गाइस एक क्वेश्चन मैं पूछना चाहूंगा चैट से व्हाइल वी आर डूइंग द इनिएस्टा. दो क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली. आपको आई थिंक इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट टू फिट इन बोथ जावी एंड इनिएस्टा इन दिस टीम एंड प्रोबब्ली वी आर गोइंग विद बुस्केट्स एज अ स्टार्टर. तो अगर हम जावी इनिएस्टा में से एक लेंगे तो किसको लेंगे इन द टीम? आई एग्री विद विवेक. आई विल गो विद इनिएस्टा based on the balance of the team or of course what the player was despite what he did to two of my sides. लेकिन एक और क्वेश्चन है. हाँ, एक और क्वेश्चन है काका और सेडॉफ में से अगर आपको पिक करना है ऑन देयर डे प्रोबब्ली काका इज अ बेटर प्लेयर, बट इफ यू सी द चैंपियंस लीग लेगेसी सेडॉफ इज अ बेटर प्लेयर. तो आप ये भी बोलिए सेडॉफ कुड डू एवरीथिंग. काका वाज डेफिनेटली अ बिग टाइम बेटर गोल स्कोरर. आई वुड लाइक टू से. आई डोंट नो जितेश भाई इफ यू हैव टू पिक.
So firstly तो you can't put both. You have to pick. Now ये तीन गोट, आई एम सेइंग these 3 goats, okay? Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta में आपको एक पिक करने का है because you can't pick 2 sadly because of the rule. Because you already have Puyol, you already have Messi, so you have to pick one. This is the sad. I agree with Ravi Joshi, we should take Iniesta, but that's panel we'll discuss. Second thing, I love Seedeorf because he's also won a championship with Real Madrid.
Correct.
But 2 of his Champions League came in the 90s. His Champions League that he won with Milan came with Kaka. And in that season, I'm not taking nothing against Clarence Seedeorf. I love the guy.
Kaka was goated. I agree.
Wonderful player. First player to win three different championship with 3 different clubs in 3 different leagues. So let's just an amazing Seedeorf का जो stature था as a player, right? Was amazing. So despite that, Kaka that season that he won the
on his own won the Champions League almost. One can say
that goal against United. Yeah, for that.
I think it's one of the best goals. If you want people to fall in love with football, na, I think that is one of the goals. मतलब आप देखो ना, वो godly Kaka was a very religious guy also. आपको याद है तो भाई the scenes. It was raining, cats and dogs. किसको Heinze was literally topsy turvy ले लिया था.
It was Heinze.
Oh, what a goal, bro. Love him to bits ना Kaka. But भाई by the way हमने Zidane के बारे में बात ही नहीं किया. Oh my God. Guys, मतलब for me top 3 में काका, लेकिन I don't know if you know Jitesh भाई, Zidane is one of my goats by the way. Top 5 में मेरे के Ronaldinho. Oh my God, sorry.
अरे ये दोनों goats हैं, but UCL अगर आप all time का अगर playing 11 अगर बना रहे हो तो they are sadly not in.
भाई मैं तो डाल रहा हूँ भाई इससे पहले भी chat.
The same reason I disqualified Ashley Cole is the same reason I'm disqualifying Zidane. Because Zidane won only 2002 with as a player. Like, of course, as a coach, he won 3 back-to-back. But 2002 का उसने एक ही Champions League जीता था. उसके बाद उसने जीता.
What a banger
of a goal, yeah. मतलब no doubt. So for a Champions League all-time or this decade का this century का, it is a little difficult to justify. I would love Zidane there, right? But again,
अच्छा Pirlo और Xavi guys the backup for Busquets. as a holding guy.
Just a shout out.
I think it deserves more than a shout out, मेरे भाई नहीं Pirlo.
नहीं I was coming up with a different name. So
oh sorry, please go ahead.
I wanted to take the name of Patrick Vieira यार. I think कोई बोल नहीं रहा है.
Bichara, he deserved more. To be honest, he had some in Italy also. He was quite good. I must say, he was quite good. People don't realize.
So, 2000 से I think 98 से लेके 2004 तक ना in Europe he was a monster. ठीक है. Initially वो 2000 2001 2 वाला वो ये 3-4 साल में ना वो फाड़ रहा था मिडफील्ड में एकदम से. But again longevity इतना हुआ नहीं कि he so that he can मतलब overtake the names जो already हैं यहाँ list में. So just a shout out at least.
No, for sure.
बिल्कुल. मैंने कुछ changes किए इस टीम में अभी तक. आप देखो अगर चलो midfield पर let's conclude on midfield because we can go on and on guys. जितेश भाई आप देखो Iniesta/Kaka डाला है. Can we make it Kaka/Iniesta based on the number of Barcelona players?
We already have to. You can't put so many Barca players. ये क्या है? मेरी
DM में आप Stevie जी को रखो.
तो नहीं लेफ्ट वाला फर्स्ट वाला इज अ स्टार्टर स्लैश वाला सेकंड है तो स्टार्टर्स का मैक्स है वी कैन हैव 3 या 4 तो बिटवीन काका एंड इनिएस्टा अगर आपको डालना है इन दिस काइंड ऑफ फॉर्मेशन वुड यू पिक काका और इनिएस्टा मेरा एज अ स्टार्टर
If you pick Iniesta, then you have to change both Xavi and Busquets down.
हाँ तो फर्स्ट लेट्स कम टू दिस इनिएस्टा काका में से आप किसको शुरू कर रहे हो Iniesta? Agreed?
Yeah.
Iniesta starts. I agree with the panel. Chat आप लोग बोलो. Captain Fahim बोल रहे Kaka should be a starter. We'll come back to you, Captain Fahim. Yeah. Now that Iniesta is starting, आपने realize किया तो मैंने डाला right back on his day. I still back my point. On his day, I thought Cafu was the best right back in the world ever. उस level का on his day, just as a right back alone. तो I think इसलिए मैंने Cafu को starter डाला है, Puyol को तो backup डाला है. But आपको आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पर obviously I have put in Ronaldinho as well. So we have Ronaldinho, Messi, Iniesta and Busquets, 4 starters of Barcelona, which is the max that we can have, which is probably also a little bit more. ठीक है वो भी हमें reduce करना पड़ेगा.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि आप DM से Busquets को starting position से हटा दो ना मैं बोल रहा हूँ. तो instead you keep
exactly जैसे हमने बात किया था correct because Carvajal उस logic तो Carvajal तो should have been there right.
Yeah. So and instead you put Stevie G there. एक लिवरपूल का बंदा होना चाहिए just for the
I agree with that point. I agree with that point. तो भाई
okay
everyone agrees मतलब एक सेकंड विवेक
this team is scary
यार एक्चुअली मैं इतना भी फाइट नहीं करूंगा मैं क्या ही तो करूं यार फाइट let's put in Stevie G. I think Champions League Stevie G has to be there.
Yeah, Champions League Stevie G man just
तो we are kind of changing the formation. हम ये कर रहे हैं लेकिन इस रोल में काका is better than Iniesta. I would like to say जब formation change कर रहे तो मतलब think about it.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Correct.
I agree.
Xabi Alonso is a big shout out 100%. Disagree about Gerrard. नहीं यार he was very good.
Dude, Xabi Alonso once Liverpool won at Real Madrid and like two big clubs and then went to Germany and won the league there. So I mean unbelievable.
Or should we not put in Pirlo over Stevie G?
No.
Oh,
I love Pirlo.
I love Pirlo.
Yeah, I love Pirlo. No.
अगर हम लोग वर्ल्ड 11 ऐसे बना रहे हैं मतलब फॉर अ चैरिटी गेम या ऐसा गेम तब तो मैं और जीत भाई अपना टीम
नहीं we have to pick what we think that is a live chat as well as the panel together
right.
think who have been the best this century and hopefully आप लोग जो बोल रहे भाई आप लोग ने देखा enough to kind of put in those things panel तो I'm 100% sure dig up to the chat Real Madrid पर आ रहे भाई कहाँ एक सेकंड why only 2 Real Madrid players 2 ही हुए क्या रोनाल्डो है Real Madrid के certain Real Madrid के लिए खेला वहाँ पर सब Modric है I believe Ramos है 3 starters हो गए and possibly that's where I'm coming to you know what let's talk about यहाँ पर we'll come back to the backups लेकिन left wing को Ronaldinho maybe he's not a starter I don't know people in the
no definitely not a starter
I would say sorry please
Jitesh bhai go ahead
so I would say TD has to be in this team I would say
Henry
Robben
I think 2000 से 2000
thank you Jitesh bhai for telling Robben's name bro मतलब for me Robbery was next level bro in Champions League and I think Robben आपको याद है तो 2004-5 Chelsea Barcelona 4-2 Ronaldinho Robben Duff Johnson, crazy match. But not just that, Bayern Munich के साथ में आपको याद है तो the guy who missed the penalty 2012 in the final in extra time actually scored the winner the next year against Dortmund. He's had some sensational moments in the Champions League. People forget it. Lekin at the same time, should we not put Mike? I'm just kind of putting it there. Gareth Bale in the conversation.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Gareth Bale.
क्योंकि टॉटनम के साथ भी बहुत अच्छा किया था मतलब उनके नाम ही टॉटनम डिस्पाइट नॉट विनिंग ही वाज एक्चुअली दैट गुड गैरेथ बेल मतलब अगेन ही कुड प्ले ऑन ईदर विंग वाला सीन था उस समय आई डोंट नो मतलब दैट्स अ गुड कॉल लेकिन देखो एज अ प्लेयर अलोन थियरी ऑनरी आई एग्री बट इन चैंपियंस लीग
2010 तक ना हां इन यूसीएल ना 2000 से 2010 तक ना ही वाज डूइंग रियली वेल मतलब we used to falter at quarters and semis वगैरह में but eventually he won the UCL with Barcelona obviously and हम लोग के साथ फाइनल्स भी था एक बार सेमीफाइनल्स भी था दो बार आई थिंक क्वार्टर्स में तो throughout the groups that come back against Inter Milan and the wins against other teams उसमें भी काफी he was influential यार and मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि 2000 से 2008-9 के अंदर I think he featured I guess what 5 or 6 times and then उसने अपना करियर खत्म कर दिया and then Leo and
I would still say Vivek he underachieved in Champions League ये मेरा personal call है but I love the player by the way as a player I think that on quality he was the best player coming out of the Premier League during that era by far Henry की बात कर
shout out to Ribery भी है Frank Ribery
I think Robben over Ribery because Robben kind of did it with multiple clubs over a longer time at that level.
Yeah, Robben, yeah.
By the way, Giggs, my Manchester United, देखो Rooney Giggs, कहीं ना कहीं ऑनरी वाले सीन है मतलब I thought they underachieved in Champions League. I don't know Jitesh bhai if you agree. People like them kind of underachieved in Champions League. Wayne Rooney, भाई to be honest, again wing पर ज़्यादा prime पर नहीं खेला, prime पर striker ही खेलता था. We are not come there. We are discussing wings, guys. तो
Suarez, I think.
Yeah, one can say मतलब again Neymar has to be in the conversation as well. आप देखो तो Neymar has to be in the conversation. So coming to conclusion on the left wing, if you have to pick one as a starter, Ronaldinho is backup, I believe. ठीक है. Again on quality मैं तो huge Ronaldinho fan हूँ. मेरे लिए तो Ronaldinho, Kaka, Zidane, John Terry मतलब they are like God's level for me. That level.
We completely forgot John Terry.
हाँ मतलब ठीक है मैं बोलूंगा तो भाई पीपल विल से लाइक अनदर लेवल जो विवेक बोल रहे हैं ना हर साल थे जॉन टेरी का आप देखो कितने साल के थे यूएफए टीम ऑफ द ईयर में आई डोंट इवन नीड टू से बट सेंटर बैक बैकअप हाँ तो मैं यहाँ पर मैं डाल रहा हूँ भाई जेटी को चलो मैं एक तो वीटो बैकअप पे तो ले लें तो भाइयों he was goated man he's hated I know but JT was I think unplayable bro
but all the players are
JT 4 times and Thierry Henry 5 times just saying by the way
मतलब अगेन लेकिन थियरी ओनली फॉरवर्ड पोजीशन पे था ना तो वहां पर कंपटीशन ज्यादा है बट चलो विंग पर गाइस स्टार्टर देखो वी कैन नॉट हैव अ बारसा प्लेयर करेक्ट
but shout out to Leva and Benzema also यार मतलब what careers they have had
so Benzema
striker पे आएंगे we have not covered
Benzema in this team will be a backup to I think whoever because dude he's what I think the third or fourth highest goal scorer in the Champions League, if I'm not wrong. I'm just check करें ना यार. Let me just check the top.
भाई जितेश भाई आप एक ना विंग पर भूल गए शायद और maybe it's not remembered, but the guy basically was underrated as anything, bro. I know कहीं ना कहीं starting 11 पर नहीं था, but I thought he was impactful moments के लिए इसको just shout out है इसको I think for Real Madrid had some great moments last few times that he played, but I think
I don't like Isco. I don't know if you know this. I am a known in even the Madrid community. I'm known as a Isco hater because I felt he plays खा रहा है. You know what I mean? तुम Modric, Casemiro, Kroos के आगे तुम किसी गधे को भी डाल दो वो भी अच्छा करेगा. वो वाला सीन था. Not to say that is true, but that is just my theory and opinion. And I thought he was like when he was in Malaga, he was beautiful. He was amazing. Fast भी था, pace भी था. इधर आके ना उसको थोड़ा Messi-itis हो गया था कि मतलब मैं बॉल रखूं मैं ये भी कर like he was not that like and maybe we needed one player to hold the ball like him at that point and that is why we won also those 3 Champions League back to back but I was not a big fan. I'm like bhai I can't see this player. Great skill but yeah not my cup of tea kind of thing.
I think जीतू भाई का प्रॉब्लम ये है ना कि he had so many talents at his disposal ना, तो it's like choosing मतलब कौन थोड़ा खराब है amongst all of this. Exactly.
डी मरिया guys, डी मरिया.
But on his day वो भी काफी बढ़िया player है. इसको and डी मरिया दोनों.
Yeah, both.
But anyway, देखो starter we are not Barcelona, not
just a quick recommendation. Here, आप जेटी के जगह थियागो सिल्वा को डाल. I think he did it in multiple countries.
दोनों डाल सकते हैं बैकअप. But guys, देखो विवेक भाई लड़ाई हो जाएगी यार. देखो I love both. जो दोनों में लेफ्ट एंड राइट हैंड, तो मुझे देने दो. थियागो सिल्वा को तो और क्योंकि एसी मिलान भी है.
ठीक है, दो.
Honestly, मैं बोलूं on their day, मतलब if you're telling me, I think the hate that JT gets, no other footballer has got in the world. मतलब for me, John Terry was the कहीं ना along with Maldini, he's that level, bro. For me, he's actually that level. He gets a lot of hate. जॉन टेरी के मैं उस दिन भी बोल रहा था ऑफ स्टेज थिंग विवेक भाई जॉन टेरी जो वर्जिल वैन डाइक बाय द वे शाउट आउट उनको भी बिकॉज़ ही वन द चैंपियंस लीग विद लिवरपूल रिसेंटली एंड ऑफ कोर्स अ ग्रेट लीडर. लेकिन फॉर मी जो हाइप मिलता है ना सोशल मीडिया में, जो वर्जिल वैन डाइक इज ऑसम एंड बीइंग अ डच फैन एज वेल, ही गेट्स दोस डायगोनल पासेस, दोस हॉलीवुड पासेस. जॉन टेरी उस एरा में करता था भाई, बीइंग अ राइट फुटर फ्रॉम हिज लेफ्ट फुट प्लस
आई थिंक उसका प्रॉब्लम था
No, let me complete. 4-2 Barcelona, again one of the legendary games of the Champions League. If you're a Chelsea fan, that is that moment mein he scored a goal. John Terry again was there in that season. John Terry, yes, just because he was the penalty yaad aata hai. Yes, just because he got the red card against Barcelona yaad aata hai. But what about the entire tournaments that he was there? Again, backup hi rakha hai. Thiago Silva was also there, absolutely 100%. PSG के साथ especially he deserved the Champions League 100%. बोलना चाहूँगा. But at the same time, I thought Thiago Silva from Milan, I was expecting a little bit more in that final season that he was there. Simply put, क्योंकि मतलब I remember those days versus the player. As a player मैं judge कर रहा हूँ. तो मैं I am going with JT and Iniesta as backup. लेकिन let's come back to our main thing यार. Winger की बात हो रही थी. Hazard not really a Champions League में. I think he didn't do enough for Chelsea to be honest.
अरे वो comment रखो. Let's just take a decision from that.
This is a good one.
Giggs, Robben, Ribery, Mane we forgot. Shit. Hazard, Di Maria, Neymar, Salah. Yeah. So Salah will be backup for me for Messi on the right. I think there's no doubt that Salah is.
अच्छा, is there any way?
I'll put something. आप फिर maybe you can basically not correct me or wrong. I'm going to change this a little bit.
ऐसा कर सकते हैं. हाँ, I was about to say this.
ठीक है, तो ये हो जाएगा. राइट साइड में आई थिंक considering these names at least, और जो longevity देखे, the winners देखे, etc. and the quality देखे, I think not many people will disagree with this now in terms of Champions League. ठीक है, काका लेफ्ट विंग खेला है स्नेहिल, एब्सोल्युटली मैंने आपको कमेंट देखा था, बट काका एज लेफ्ट विंग वाजंट दैट प्लेयर दैट वी नो दैट ही कुड डू एज अ कैम. मैं तो अभी बोलता हूँ काका एज अ कैम वाज वुड बी अ स्टार्टर फॉर मी, बट पैनल ओपी चैट ओपी इसलिए हमने रखा है. ठीक है,
अरे मुझे मेरे टीम को एक दे दो, नाम लिख दो यार, रोनाल्डिनो की जगह पे टीटी ऑनरी का नाम लिख दो यार. अरे क्या कर रहा है
भाई.
विवेक बोले थियरी ऑनरी और रोनाल्डिनो.
विवेक भाई आप बोलो किसके ऊपर. एक सेकेंड भाई, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना भाई, मैं अभी भी बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पर ना, विद ऑल ड्यू रेस्पेक्ट, विद ऑफ कोर्स ही इज अ गुड मार्सेलो एज वेल, लेकिन एशली कोल एज अ प्लेयर आई वुड लाइक टू ऑलमोस्ट से दैट ही इज एट पार विद मार्सेलो इन एज अ प्लेयर.
कौन?
Champions League.
Ashley Cole.
By Champions League, Marcelo has
Champions League. Come on.
Correct. तो इसलिए तो मैं विवेक को समझा रहा था, तो we have put what we have done correctly only. ऑनरी तो नहीं आने वाला है. ऑनरी और गिग्स और स्कोल्स एंड रूनी वर अंडर, आई थिंक हजार्ड, दे आर ऑल अंडर परफॉर्मर्स यार.
गाइस दिस इज बैलन डोर ऑल ओवर अगेन यार. योर नेडवेड वाला ईयर हो गया फिर से.
चलो स्ट्राइकर अभी तक आई थिंक वी आर काइंड ऑफ ऑन ट्रैक. देखो स्टार्टर्स का देखते हैं. बार्सिलोना से आए हैं मेसी, इनिएस्टा, then we have okay, that's it, starters. Then you have Real Madrid से you have obviously a Ramos, then you have a Modric as a starter and a CR7 as a starter. ठीक है, तो तीन Real Madrid से starters है, दो Barcelona से starters है. To be very honest, यहाँ पर मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ चेल्सी से तो साला एक भी नहीं है. लिवरपूल से एक डाल दिया है स्टीवन जेरार्ड, with all due respect, of course यहाँ पर AC Milan, another go-to team in the UCL. आप डाल रहे हो Maldini और Cafu, जो हमने change किया because of that balance. Then you have Bayern Munich से you have Lahm as a starter and Neuer of course. ठीक है, तो I think it's fairly balanced. थोड़ा बहुत नाखुश हो for Chelsea, but it's okay. 2 Champions League only.
We'll come back now once we finish. We finish the last.
Okay, before we finish with the striker, Jitesh bhai, I see a lot of chat saying Gareth Bale over Robben या Ronaldinho. I disagree. I don't know how you all think about it. Panel आप बोलिए.
I think over Robben would be a good shout, I would say.
I disagree there as well. In terms of longevity, I thought doing a different clubs and a starter.
In UCL.
In UCL. देखो, Gareth Bale was a starter in UCL for how many seasons that he won where he was so impactful? Versus how many seasons?
Final में वो ऐसे गोल मारना, ठीक है? Stop up dreams.
See, statistically, 5 Champions League जीते Gareth Bale ने, तो उसके खिलाफ कुछ बोलना बहुत difficult होता है. I am not a big Gareth Bale fan. So
as a player, who would you pick, Robben or Bale?
So that's what I'm saying. For me, what Robben did at Chelsea, great, one of the great players. I think he won the league with you guys, right?
And Champions League में, मतलब if not for the ghost goal, मैं तो अभी भी बोलता हूँ 2005 was ours.
Then won the league with us. Then went to Bayern, won the Champions League there. So I think if you look at the career as a whole, I'm not saying not taking anything from Gareth Bale's 5 Champions League because I know he has 5 Champions League. But as career as a whole, as a more well-rounded player, I would say Robben only because this is a bias. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer.
हाँ, मतलब 3 क्लब्स के लिए मेरा रीजनिंग वही है. 3 क्लब्स के लिए किया इन द चैंपियंस लीग.
3 देशों में तुमने खेला. तुमने एक ही देश में 3 क्लब किया. तुम 3 देश में गए.
3 देशों में किया. Exactly.
तुम 3 लीग्स में सबसे बढ़िया प्लेयर रहे हो.
और Tottenham, to be fair to Gareth Bale, yes, he kind of misses out. Tottenham was as a team, मतलब to be honest, Modric and Bale were that, stars of Tottenham in that team. But again, have they done enough to be in that best 22 ever in this?
I just say one thing on behalf of Real Madrid and to the chat, because they'll be like, ये player नहीं है, वो player नहीं, ये player नहीं है, Madrid का इसको डालो, उसको डालो. Real Madrid के recent history में ऐसे 9 player है, which includes Toni Kroos and Cristiano Ronaldo, who won 1 Champions League in another club, that have won 5 Champions League. So if you look at that logic, then those 9 players should be there, including Nacho, Dani Carvajal.
Carvalho,
yeah, like Modric, Kroos, Casemiro. But we can't do that because the rules of the game say सिर्फ 3 आ सकते हैं. तो we have great legends and nothing against Gareth Bale and what he's done. But Robben, I mean, what do you think, Vivek? We are biased here because he's played for both of us as a neutral.
नहीं, आपके लिए why will it be a bias? Because Robben played for you also. Bale भी आप लोग के लिए खेला. तो I think अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि if you had to pick between a prime Robben versus a prime Bale, आप किसको लेते? From the bench, मान लो आपका team is at a deadlock, ठीक है? आप Champions League का एक knockout game खेल रहे हो. Your team is at a deadlock.
I'm gonna get how many people are watching this are going to say ये आदमी चूतिया है, but और शायद वो भी, but because Gareth Bale has literally come off the bench and scored that brilliant goal, know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
So, and I'm going to say कि नहीं, I want Robben only because see, Gareth Bale's those 2 goals were individual brilliance. But if I need somebody to score a goal, to carry
the
ball,
better player was Robben, bhai. Honestly, overall.
Robben would take the ball from anywhere, just run, cut, coot, and he would find that goal, right?
Okay, let's put it this way, ना. मतलब for me, देखो मैं Hazard का नाम बोला भी नहीं, chat बोली थी. Hazard was an underachiever in Champions League, if I'm being very honest. ठीक है? The kind of star quality that he had, what he should have done when he went to Real Madrid, is what Robben actually did at Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. People, Bayern Munich does not get. Bayern Munich of that era was like wow. Even in 2010, people remember the kind of Bayern Munich they had. I know Inter Milan थी next level. By the way, shout out उनको. लेकिन I think that's what it is. भाई, अगर हम लोग खाली stats पे जाते तो हम discussion क्यों आते मेरे भाई Madrid star रोहित? अब नहीं डाल सकते भाई एक सेकंड. Let me complete here. Madrid star रोहित. दोनों आपके बंदे भाई, दोनों रियल मैड्रिड के खेले हैं भाई. थोड़ा बैकअप के लिए क्यों लड़ना भाई? चिन मारिए. बेल को शॉट आउट दे दिया. He deserves it absolutely.
It was Ravi, I think. Ravi.
और भाई, to be honest, attitude issues of Bale, man, kind of puts him out.
Yeah. No, I completely.
Striker, guys. चलो let's have the last vote, guys.
very quickly, Ravi bhai बोल रहे हैं Fabregas. अरे Fabregas also a good shout था यार, but he does not मतलब ये names के सामने
Champions League में not a
short
starter.
पड़ जाएगा, वो short पड़ जाएगा.
Correct.
ये names के सामने short पड़ जाएगा. But what a player यार on his day, man, Fabregas.
भाई to be honest,
strikers.
यहाँ पर बहुत डिफिकल्टी होने वाली है. हम लोग ने अच्छा किया बाय द वे रोनाल्डो को डालिए विंग पर, क्योंकि बहुत ही मुश्किल होने वाली थी. लेकिन आई थिंक पीपल डोंट रियलाइज, मैंने उस दिन एक पॉडकास्ट में बोला था that for me as much as Drogba is one of my absolute मतलब match winners in a knockout competition like the UCL any day, लेकिन I think one guy who this generation with all due respect to social media does not realize, two people मैं बोलूंगा, is Champions League. चलो 3 बोल देता हूँ. एक है राहुल basically was like god of UCL at one level. He was like god. I don't even mince my words.
He was top
god of
scorer
UCL
till Messi and Ronaldo took over. He was top
and
scorer.
इतने लंबे समय तक, इतने लंबे. अच्छा, दो और बंदों का नाम बोलूंगा who I think were like perennial goal scorers. Perennial. एक is there, Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o was like wow, मतलब he was like superb. Given the ball, he scored the goal. एक और obviously थोड़ा bias लगेगा आप लोग को, लेकिन इंजागी जैसा पोचर आज तक पैदा नहीं हुआ है. अगर आपको चाहिए किसी को just be in the box and score goals, Inzaghi, probably Haaland is going to come next to him.
नहीं, आप Inzaghi की बोल रहे हो over Del Piero? आप Del Piero को shout out नहीं दिया?
नहीं, in terms of goal scorers, I was saying like Raul, Eto'o and Inzaghi were proper goal scorers.
And Inzaghi over Drogba, I like Drogba.
I also prefer Drogba, लेकिन मैं से बोल रहा हूँ कि people don't realize how good Inzaghi was just as a poacher. Obviously, I preferred Drogba यार, वो तो I agree with you 100%. Crespo, to be honest, मैं गुस्सा था उससे यार 2005 के फाइनल में. I thought एक हाफ में सोचा कि गेम खत्म हो गया. बंदा basically this is but as much as he was a Milan and Chelsea cult hero as well. लेकिन but I think I don't know. Let's put it to the panel first. Jitesh bhai, if you have to pick strikers में Lewandowski, obviously the modern day numbers guy. One has to talk about Benzema, but could he get there? Probably not.
So backup should either, this is what I'm going to propose, you all can obviously disagree. Backup either has to be Benzema or Raul, depending on who you want. Because Benzema, extremely underrated, but finally he won that Champions League in 2022, which was his year, you know, Ballon d'Or, the greatest year of this thing. So for me, that Benzema slightly takes over Raul. I am a huge Raulista. Raul का जो pet name है, वो है El Angel de Madrid, which is the angel of Madrid. And I have an angel tattoo on my arm here because I love Raul so much. So for me, Raul, for my first Real Madrid jersey was a Raul jersey. So for me, Raul is everything. Like a fun fact, weird fact, during the 2006 World Cup, I was abroad and on the metro stations, they used to have these cutouts, life-size cutouts. तो वहाँ पे राहुल का था, मैं एकदम चोमू की तरह वहाँ पे ऐसे कटआउट के साथ फोटो भी लिया, कटआउट के साथ. मैं इतना बड़ा राहुल फैन था. You know what I mean? It's not that I took a picture of that and I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep it for post. I went and stood next to this cutout and took a picture of it. And I sent it to you. Like full.
मेरा वो scene kind of, you know, for me, like, क्योंकि we're talking that era, again, एक और नाम मैं बोलना चाहूंगा क्योंकि मैंने एक पिक किया. As a player, I agree with you. Benzema over Raul. Same चीज मैं बोलूंगा. As a player, Shevchenko over Inzaghi. But as a goal scorer, मैंने इंजागी का नाम लिया था. मतलब that's my call. But so you are going with backup Benzema the starter?
Either Raul or Benzema. That is for you all to decide. Starter, I would say at the end of the day, whatever said and done, even though he's bajaued us a lot, either Lewandowski or Drogba, because Lewandowski for what he's done in Germany and then he's only won one league in Barca, but he was lethal, man, and he scored 4 goals against us when he was at the Dortmund. He was responsible for them. Ravi, I can't put him. Where do I put him in? We already got 3.
नहीं, मैं तो chat ऐसे ही मैं दिखा रहा हूँ तो so that
I have a tattoo. I don't know if you can see it. So I have an angel tattoo, man. So I love Raul. For me, Raul is like.
एक second. Let's do a retake of that tattoo, bhai. Let's actually put I'll try and put Jitesh bhai. Jitesh bhai, दिखाओ भाई.
अभी रुक जा एक सेकंड, मेरे को ये थोड़ा कैमरा भी हटाने दे. हाँ, I don't know if you can. रुक जा. So this is Hierro, but can you see the angel? Yeah.
Awesome.
Another football there, but that's the angel. So
awesome.
I have an angel for Rahul. अरे मेरे को हटा यार, मेरे को नहीं, ये स्पॉटलाइट में मत रख मेरे को. व्यूअरशिप गिर जाएगा तो बिकॉज़ स्पॉटलाइट में रखेगा तो.
अरे नहीं भाई.
Win by win.
So again, Eto'o, wonderful in that time, greatest. But and of course he won at Barca and then he won at Inter as well. But for me, just longevity-wise, Lewandowski or Drogba should be the top guy. And here you can even say TT. Here you can say play TT up front. So ये तीन नाम में से किसी को भी आप ऊपर रखो और बैकअप में एक मैड्रिड फैन को
मतलब I would love to agree with the Drogba part as one of the options for sure, but I think मेरा neutral तो बोलता है Samuel Eto'o has to be there, as much as I love my Drogbas and Shevchenkos and Inzagis. What about you, Vivek? Apart from Thierry Henry,
बायस मैं बोलूंगा बेंच पे एटलीस्ट थियरी ऑनरी को एक स्पॉट दे दो, ठीक है.
चलो we'll talk about that. Yes, starter.
ये मैं एडमिट कर रहा हूं, मैं बायस के लिए बोल रहा हूं, but I would pick Samuel Eto'o यार स्टार्टर में.
All he different teams वाला वापस से एक conversation है क्योंकि he's done it with different teams,
different leagues, and he won also. मतलब टाइटल्स भी जीता है, ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब खाली जाके खेला. मतलब he won at
भाई मोराटा तो गोट को भूल गए यार हम लोग.
मोराटा यार, he won with Inter, he won with Barca obviously.
Barca,
and
he was there. People do not realize. Of course, he didn't win, but he played the semi-finals of Champions League with Chelsea also.
Yeah.
PSG quarterfinals. आपको याद है one of the moments for Chelsea fan comeback that we made on Jose Mourinho part 2. हम लोग पीछे थे and in the end एक समय पे थे Samuel Eto'o, Dembaba और Fernando Torres तीनों पिच पर. Aspilicueta, Gary Cahill, पांचों स्ट्राइकर्स खेल रहे थे. 5 स्ट्राइकर्स.
Dembaba, what a player यार. वो we were about to sign him and Mourinho basically pulled the plug कि भाई नहीं इसको नहीं बेचेंगे हम लोग. Man, what days. But David Villa, अरे damn यार. David
Villa को भूल गए हम लोग.
No, but David Villa Champions League, no man.
गजब shout out यार. Nice.
नहीं, with Valencia, Jitesh bhai was very good. He was very good.
He was
like again, like you know, in the sense that not in the Champions League, national team.
Yeah, Saudi at best.
Champions League, I'm saying.
Got it.
Champions League, हम लोग Rio Ferdinand, Vidic को भी भूल रहे हैं बैक पे. हम लोग JT और Thiago Silva, Pepe को हम भूल रहे हैं. So they're like we're talking only Champions League. Right?
Pepe और बेल को तो हम लोग ऑफ फील्ड रीजंस के वजह से हम लोग बाहर.
Yeah, true.
But so let's come to a conclusion. I think
what is the more or less
everyone agrees.
Yeah,
Samuel Eto'o probably
Inter Milan's Eto'o.
You have to kind of not miss Eto'o for there. Of course, and by the way, midfield में लोग Casemiro को shout out देते हैं.
And just because we are on Ankit Bro का channel, तो shout out to Drogba also यार. Come on, मतलब
Bro,
he's a big match player. Big match.
उसको shout out से ज़्यादा मिल सकता है विवेक भाई.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं करने का.
No, Drogba for sure. I would have been happy.
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ. आपने consolation prize पहले ही दे दिया भाई. Come on. मैं Eto'o को to be honest, अगर सब लोग बोलो चैट में आप लोग बोलो देखो Lewandowski is the goal scoring machine absolutely, लेकिन अगर आप पिक कर रहे हो a striker even to start or come as a sub, Drogba or Lewandowski, guys please tell me everyone in the chat, just one question ले लो आप Drogba को लोगे कि Lewandowski को.
गाइस चैट में थियरी ऑन.
हां चलो थियरी ऑन रही भी
चैट में Benzema भी लिखो, सब लिखो. मैं भी लिखता हूँ रुक
भाई. रियल मैड्रिड के बहुत हो गए जितेश भाई. कम ऑन. नहीं तो पूरा रियल मैड्रिड ही हो जाएगा.
नहीं आई नो I'm trying.
सॉरी आपका विषय अगर आपको पिक करना है अपनी टीम में एक बंदा
सोचो यार क्या नेम्स व्हाट नेम. अच्छा सॉरी अब बोल रहा हूं.
मतलब मैं शेवा भी डाल रहा हूं, ऑल्दो कोई शेवा को पिक नहीं करेगा, बट मैं यहाँ पर आई थिंक राहुल, शेवा, Inzaghi were the Champions League goats in terms of the goal scorers of that era, and then came obviously the Lewandowskis of the world. But इन चारों में अगर आपको पिक करना है people you are going with who? Leva, Drogba, मैं देख रहा हूँ Drogba, couple of them have said, Henry, couple of them have said, एक बंदा बोल रहा है no Henry. Luis Suarez again, मतलब one could say him और David Villa, लेकिन वही हम proper center forward जा रहे हैं with all due respect. जस्टिस फॉर करीम सब लोग बोल रहे हैं भाई साहब. तो चलो
मैंने ही वो लिखा है.
अरे ये तो चीटिंग हो गया भाई, आउट ऑफ सिलेबस हो गया. एक सेकंड भाई, सरप्राइजिंगली लेवा के आ रहे भाई ज्यादा. आई एम सरप्राइज, आई एम वेरी सरप्राइज ऑनेस्टली. देखो मैं खुद बोला हूं कि Eto'o और Drogba, बट अगर आप लोग पिक कर रहे हो, अगर if you're the coach, if you have choice to make, who will you start in a Champions League match? Come on, Drogba over Leva any day, bro. With all due respect to Lewandowski, Drogba, man. I'm surprised. Maybe many people in chat have not seen what Drogba was in the Champions League,
Possible,
but maybe
yeah.
that's why. But ठीक है, मैंने chat का सुना है, तो let's go with that. Fair enough.
मतलब वो फाइनल्स में फोड़ता था, फाइनल्स में नॉकआउट्स,
Again,
बड़े-बड़े नॉकआउट
knockouts में I thought he was Premier League 11 में समझ सकता हूँ why you didn't pick Drogba, लेकिन इसमें मैं सोचा at least बैकअप तो रहेगा, but कोई नहीं.
No, I'm
करीम
saying
बेंजेमा,
you put Drogba
भाई
one
एक सेकंड, भाई मैड्रिडिस्टा रोहित, बिग अप्स टू यार मॉड हो भाई, थोड़ा समझो यार. 22 पूरे रियल मैड्रिड के प्लेयर लिख दे बस. रियल मैड्रिड के पैनल है, रियल मैड्रिड ओपी, रियल मैड्रिड को सिनोनिम बोल दिया, रियल मैड्रिड को यूसीएल बोल दिया, सब लोग डाल दे बस.
अरे रोहित ब्रो भी इन्वॉल्व है यार, मतलब चलो विन यार, विन चैट, चलो बढ़िया है.
Yeah, big ups to him, but come on, bro.
Big ups.
चार बार बोल दिया और इतना बोलो. Again, हम मेजॉरिटी के साथ जा रहे हैं, मैं भी स्नेल से.
But ना, the talents at disposal इतने हैं ना, हम लोग अगर इनको छोड़ के और एक टीम भी बनाएंगे ना, उसमें भी शॉट पड़ने वाला है, पता है?
Yeah.
For positions, है ना?
But I think more or less, I think the major misses were Bale, definitely Benzema. One can say he was a major miss because of हम 22 ही pick कर सकते हैं. Then probably और कौन मिला? Maybe one can argue. I don't know. मतलब for all we know, maybe Casemiro. I don't know. Seedeorf for sure was a major miss.
Yeah,
I think
Seedeorf, Casemiro, Carvajal, all of them major miss.
VVD, yeah, he was a major miss. Anil का shout out for missing the penalty, is it? People गाली देते हैं JT को, मिलना चाहिए अनिल का को. What a body language, bro. Rubbish penalty the last one. As much as I love him, लेकिन manager.
Thierry Henry, Fabregas, Patrick Vieira miss.
Yeah, exactly. You have to give it to Thierry Henry as well. लेकिन वो ये Manchester United, Arsenal, with all due respect, मेरे को लगता है even Chelsea of that era and couple other teams probably underachieved, क्योंकि उस समय I think AC Milan, Barcelona kind of took over mid 2000s, late 2000s में. But I think more or less, I think chat is more or less agreeing. भाई आप best player के सामने मत जाओ. Champions League में क्या उखाड़ा है बंदे ने. Scholes should not be in this team. I stick my neck out मेरे भाई. Ancelotti should be the coach. I don't think वहाँ कोई doubt है. Ancelotti has to be hands down. Assistant coach बोल दो सब लोग. Jose, Champions League में Jose. I would like to put Jose assistant. Anyone disagrees? Let me know.
I would
Pep को डाल सकते हो.
Pep or even Sir Alex Ferguson इतने भी बुरे नहीं थे, you know.
Yeah.
हम लोग ने प्रीमियर लीग 11 में एलेक्स फर्गसन को मेन डाला था, असिस्टेंट डाला था पेप को. इसमें आई थॉट क्योंकि व्हाट ही डिड विद पोर्टो, आई डोंट थिंक, विद ऑल डू रिस्पेक्ट टू पेप, आई डोंट थिंक ही वुड हैव डन विद पोर्टो. दैट्स माय ओपिनियन.
No chance in hell.
करेक्ट. तो मैं जोसे को डालूंगा. भाई वीटो का इतना चांस हो तो असिस्टेंट तो पिक करने दो. Zidane assistant coach is a good shot, by the way, because of his what he did, craziness.
Bro, Zidane was the assistant in 14, then 16, 17, 18 he was main coach. So Zidane was he's actually done that job.
Yeah. By the way, Tuchel 1-2 back-to-back finals also. One won and one lost. But कोई नहीं, shout out ही है 100%. लेकिन big ups to the chat भाई. Again, we might have missed. हंसी मजाक के लिए था. At the end of the day, nostalgia. हम लोग को तो बहाना चाहिए भाई nostalgia मोड में जाने का. अपन तीनों को in the panel. और again, international break was the best time. और अभी चैंपियंस लीग का मेन फेज आने वाला आफ्टर इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक, व्हिच विल कवर एनीवे. लेकिन कोई नहीं, बिग अप्स टू द चैट गाइस. चैट ओपी, दीस काइंड ऑफ डिस्कशंस आर इवन बेटर. अगर सब लोग यहाँ पर अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किए, नॉट जस्ट टू आवर चैनल्स, बोथ द लिंक्स आर बिलो, बट टाइटल में लिंक है बीइंग सारंगी, चेकआउट करिए. ऑफ कोर्स गिव अ फॉलो टू बॉम्बे पीनिया एज वेल. दे डू लॉट ऑफ इवेंट्स गाइस. इवन दे आर टैग्ड बिलो. बिग अप्स टू बॉम्बे पीनिया एज वेल एज बीइंग सारंगी in the house. Or Almighty Blues, always a fan channel for all to see. We are going to be back, I believe, with live content on Almighty Sports, which already is bringing you a lot of short reel content for the IPL lovers plus general cricket lovers. But यहाँ पर it's a big week भाई. लिवरपूल चेल्सी वीक है तो बिल्डअप करेंगे. अ लॉट ऑफ इट हमें बात करना है. प्रीमियर लीग का विल कम बैक. लेकिन इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक था तो आई थॉट दिस इज द बेस्ट टाइम. अभी के लिए हैप्पी दशहरा एवरीवन. मच लव एंड
टेक केयर भाई लोग.
And put your 11 in the chat, in the comments.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
कोई तो बोल रहा है ईटेच को मैनेज कर देना चाहिए. ये टीम रेलीगेट हो जाएगी.
एंटनी और ईटीएच में सॉरी.
Comment of the stream.
Win comment भाई, win comment.
Win.
चलो, take care guys.